Hello, you all right?
Hi, yes, I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. That was like the most chaotic 5 minutes ever. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Burning Heart on Saturday against Harley Hudson. And what are your thoughts going into that match?
Well, I'm excited because I had a long time away from the UK Indies, so there's a lot of girls that I haven't wrestled yet, and Harley is one of them. So I'm excited to finally, get to wrestle her and get to properly meet her and join forces. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun because I feel like I tend to wrestle the same sort of girls in London, so it's good to branch out and make something different. So yeah, it'll be good.
Cool. And it's also your Burning Heart debut.
It is.
So what are you thinking about that? And from what you've seen, like what sets the company apart from anywhere else you've wrestled so far?
Well, I feel like they have, well, the best of the best on there. So it's quite a compliment to even be asked to be a part of it, to be honest. And it's in an area that I haven't really wrestled in before. And well, everyone that's a part of it I know quite well, and I think highly of them. So it'll be fun to be amongst everyone and be able to watch firsthand what great wrestling is. So I do enjoy that. I enjoy being able to watch the rest of the show and really take in what like a high level of wrestling is.
Cool. What can fans expect from you for those who have never seen you wrestle before?
Fun energy, high energy. I don't know. I feel like maybe I wouldn't say high flyer because that's not really. I wouldn't say that's my style, but I like to dip my toe in that. I don't know. Happiness.
Happiness and
smiles.
fair enough. You've said on Twitter that this is your last UK show before going back to Florida. So
Yeah.
what's kind of next for you then after this?
Well, I kind of wrestle in a lot of different places in America right now. I haven't really got a set location. I find myself a lot of the times in Minnesota for some reason. I quite like there. So you can expect just me popping up in random indies that maybe you don't expect, and just trying to get myself out there and show everyone who I am.
It kind of feels like you're kind of doing a mini tour at the minute and you're just kind of enjoying yourself, like appearing wherever.
Yeah, definitely. Because before NXT UK, I didn't really do many indies. So I'm kind of experiencing that now. So like what you do when you first start, I'm kind of just like, I've like rewound and just started doing that again now. So I am really enjoying it. And there is some difficulty with it and meeting new people and being in places that I've never been. But like, and it feels like, oh, I'm 5 years in, like maybe I shouldn't feel so new or be so nervous, but it is what it is, and I've just got to accept how it is.
But I guess for you, because as you say, you've only been doing this for 5 years, but a couple of those years everything shut down.
Yeah.
And I mean, since then you've done WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, and a whole host of indies. So like, what has that journey been like? Because that's mental, the whole thing altogether.
Yeah. So I guess most of the time when I think about it, I feel like I should know more. I should be more experienced, or I should have more matches under my belt. But it just hasn't worked that way. So I try to remind myself that like everyone's journey is different, and maybe someone else 5 years in would be doing more things or be elsewhere. But for me, this journey's right for me, and I feel like the lack of pressure doing the indies now without like a name behind you, it helps me a lot. And I feel like some people might prefer that, but me right now, like I quite like being in control of where I'm going and what I'm doing, and saying yes to this or saying no to that, and being able to meet new people and wrestle new people and make mistakes and learn a lot of things from loads of different people. So I do like that part.
Yeah. Wrestling in general is like a massive high point around the world right now. What's the biggest difference you've noticed from when you started to where you are now? Like when you do a show, like is there do you notice anything in the crowds, or even just in the ring, just anything different?
I feel like, well, in terms of crowd in America versus the UK, I feel like the crowds are different, and the energy's a little bit different. I feel like maybe because I'm from the UK, I feel like the crowds can be a lot louder, or maybe they're a bit more interactive.
Yeah.
And in America, it's a bit more like they're a bit more observational, and they clap, but they're not necessarily as loud. So I found that a bit different. But in terms of wrestling itself, I'm not sure, because I didn't really do a lot of shows, so it's hard for me to remember what they were like when I did them.
Right. Fair enough. So I just want to talk about NXT UK briefly, because obviously that's where a lot of people would have seen you first. What are your thoughts on kind of looking back on your time at NXT UK, and also the impact it's actually had on the industry today?
Well, I'm happy that I was a part of it, even if it was just a short amount of time. But I feel like a lot more people are watching it now than maybe they did at the time. But there were a lot of people that were watching it and that were big fans of it, of course.
Yeah.
But whenever I meet people, especially in America, they do mention NXT UK, and they say, "Oh, I've only just found it," or they say like, "Oh, there's a few people that say, oh, I watched that from the beginning. Like that's where I've known you from. I know a certain amount of people from." So yeah, it is really interesting, because to me, obviously, it was everything at that time, because that's where I was. But it's just interesting to see like people weren't exposed to it, and now they find it and they're like, wow, why is it not running? Like this was so cool. Like the matches were so good, and the quality was such high quality.
I was looking at who you wrestled when you were there. Everybody bar one, they're now on main roster WWE TV, or at least NXT.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make you feel that you've wrestled such incredible talent, and you were kind of thought of in that bracket? And I guess you still are, I guess. Yeah,
no, I feel grateful, because without wrestling those people and having that experience, like I wouldn't be who I am and where I am, and like almost wrestling in that stressful capacity and stressful environment, because I was so new at the time. It did help me like function and focus in scenarios now that maybe are less stressful, or just as stressful, and I remind myself like, well, I've done that, so if I've done that, then I can do this. So it's definitely helped me like in the long run.
Is that the long-term goal for you, like being a part of WWE long-term, like everyone that you kind of wrestled during that time?
I try not to aim for certain things that I don't know are the outcome, so I just try to take every match and every situation as it comes, and if that ends up being the outcome, of course I'll be so happy and grateful. But if it isn't, I'm also okay with that too, because you just never know what life's going to throw at you, and I can't aim and hope for something and be let down, or aim and hope for something and somebody else comes up and my life goes in a different direction. So you just never know what it is, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, then that's also fine.
Just enjoy the ride, I guess.
Yeah.
So obviously your other half is now on. He's been a mainstay in WWE for years now. Do you ever seek advice from him, or like talk to him about ideas you got, or do you just kind of keep that separate between the two of you?
No, I feel like we talk a lot about wrestling and ideas, and we help each other with a lot of stuff. Like I feel so happy whenever we discuss something and then he'll do it, or it will be incorporated in his set or his act. So like and it makes me excited, because I think, oh, okay, maybe I do have some good ideas. But no, it's a lot of fun to hear from somebody who's done so many things and has done it on all different levels. So I can ask about the indies, I can ask about TV, I can ask about character work, about anything, like moveset, anything. So it's good to have like an encyclopedia with me at all times.
Fair enough. So away from the ring, like what do you do like downtime? Like how do you chill out away from the ring?
I don't know. I watch TV. I go to the gym a lot. I mean, I guess that's not really winding down, but to me it is. So
normal people.
I'm not sure. I watch Noam play his games. That's winding down for me.
Has he not got you into Rangers? Like, do you not go to Rangers games with him?
No, it's not. He does follow it, but he's not like, we wouldn't go to a game. Like that's not something that we would do. And plus, I don't really. I like football, but I kind of just like the fights and the arguments versus the actual game itself. So
So a couple of quick fire questions for you. Who is your biggest inspiration in wrestling?
Biggest inspiration. Well, I guess like the wrestler that I always loved and do love the most is Mickie James. Like she's always been somebody that I follow and somebody that I admire. So I would say Mickie.
Cool. Who was the first wrestler you watched and you thought like, I want to do that?
Mickie again. Mickie.
Okay. What was the first Mickie match that you watched?
It was either Mickie and Trish or Mickie and Beth Phoenix. It was one of the matches, but I just loved the way that she sold, and like I loved the way that like her character was. Like she was very energetic and like happy and cheery when she came out, like when she was babyface. And I guess that's like what I like to style myself on and remind myself about, like before I wrestle, and what kind of energy I want to bring out and who I want to have on my side and cheer me.
Cool. And I know you kind of said you're in this for the journey, like enjoying the ride, but where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
Just everywhere. Wherever that is, everywhere. I want there to be shows announced and I'm on them.
Fair enough.
It could be in any state, or it could be in the UK or wherever. The big shows, I want to be on all of them.
Cool. So I always ask this question and get a variety of different responses. Are there any wrestling myths about yourself you'd like to kind of clarify or set the record straight on?
Wrestling myth.
Or like something that you've heard on Twitter about you and you're just like, no, that's just rubbish.
How young I am. Unfortunately, no.
How old are you? 27, are you? 28?
Yeah, 27. Yeah. When it was my birthday, someone was like, oh, happy birthday, Aleah James, 23. And I thought, well, oh, I remember that.
That's nice, but you know. Fair enough. And who's been your favourite opponent so far?
Probably Nina Samuels. I've wrestled her a lot of times, and we've had like a variety of different style of matches, and we've wrestled in different promotions, and she's a fun opponent for me to have, and I know her so well and she knows me so well, so when we are in the ring, it just works well together.
And bringing it back to Burning Hearts, what is your message for your opponent on Saturday?
I know she has a lot to say and she thinks very highly of herself, and I would love for her to show me what she's got, because I'm ready and I've been doing my research, so I hope she's been doing hers.
Brilliant. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you.